Some of the worst damage happened long before Hurricane Milton made landfall. The storm is blamed for at least 20 tornadoes across Florida. One of them caused heavy damage and, unfortunately, some deaths in Fort Pierce on the Atlantic coast, more than 100 miles from the hurricane zone. Morgan Reiner from CBS News Miami is at a retirement community where multiple people were killed. Morgan, good morning.
20 tornadoes? 20. And a hurricane. They told us a long time ago that they had the ability to control the weather. And when I say they, I mean the so-called powers that be, you know, the government and them, you know, Biden and them. And it looks like it's true. I mean, this sounds like an anomaly. There's incomprehensible damage that's done. There's streets turned to rubble, homes turned to rubble. And the question I got is, what's the government going to do? You know, Hurricane Helene just hit, and all the people got for support and relief was $750. $750. Meanwhile, the illegals are getting whole lifestyles handed to them. Ukraine is getting support out the wazoo to do what? Fight wars. But America's citizens are dealing with catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe. And I truly believe it's by the hands of the U.S. military. Hey, look, I got the right to have my thoughts on this. You can think what you want to think. I'm going to think what I want to think. But I know that HAARP weather modification is very real. And I find it very strange that 20 tornadoes hit one place after a storm that started off a Category 5, dwindled down to about a Category 3, Category 4. All of a sudden, the tornadoes come. Now, make no mistake about it. The Most High is very capable of doing the very same thing. I mean, the Most High can do worse. You know, he tells you in the scriptures that his rage and fury will come in a whirlwind. Those are tornadoes. We know the Most High speaks through weather patterns. And a lot of the times, man is used to carry out the will of the Father. So people who were meant to be affected got affected. And there's people who are probably in the same state. There's people who are in certain cities that were warned and they didn't leave, but they wasn't affected. Where if you drive 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, all of a sudden it looks like a damn war zone out there. That's because the Most High is still going to have his hedge of protection over people he's meant to protect. Now, am I saying because you got affected in a negative way, you're not under the protection of the Most High? Absolutely not. Because you're still breathing. You're still here. But what this does mean is, you know, you got to be in touch with your own spirit. You got to be in touch with your relationship with the Most High so you can have the discernment to know when danger is present. A lot of people think that I come off brash and rude when I say things like, you might want to leave, or you may end up under a floorboard somewhere, barricaded under your own house. I'm not saying that to put you in fear. I'm saying that to provoke thought. I'm saying that because if you are in one of those areas that got affected, you don't want to be that person who at the end says, you know what, maybe I should have took heed and left. Now, if the Most High gave you discernment and you know that you're protected in that situation, or you may not have the funds to go from one place or the next, but you right in your spirit, you know, then those type of messages don't apply to you. And make no mistake about it, even if you're wicked, you can't escape the judge of the Most High. You can't escape his judgment. Wherever you go, judgment will follow. He who tries to save his life will lose it. So the whole idea is to get right with the Creator, because you never know when that judgment is going to come. So you want to be right in the spirit. And if you one who have children, you know, you got family, and the news is warning you about certain things. And we know the news is not 100% correct, but when you're unsure about a situation, it's best that you take the high ground and take the high road and deliver your family out of those scenarios and situations, right? Now, I, for one, know scripturally America's Babylon. This place is going to fall. This place is going to be destroyed. It's pending doom. You hear what I'm saying? And if you're scared, then be scared. I don't care. I tell you, be prepared. Because it has to be a destroy and rebuild. And the fear of the Most High is the beginning of all knowledge and wisdom. So if you fear in the Most High, you got safety. You got safety in that. So, you know, it's just crazy that this thing happened. We talking about 20 tornadoes, 20 of them. And what is your government gonna do about it? I, for one, believe they're the ones who started it. These tornadoes, I believe they have the technology to cause rain clouds. They have the technology to do all these things. And, you know, I got the proof on that.
Climate change. And now we're learning that scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, I mean, lasers really to change the weather?
That's right. We physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, by firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
This fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics. You can actually bring down electricity down the beam.
So what does it mean for drought areas that need to have rain for crops and the consequences of famine?
For floods, for agriculture, farmers, and flooding, and even hurricanes, all of them could be subject to weather modification.
You know, it's one of those things that you got to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. This is New Breed Global Truth over here, and we cover global news, not local news. You know, we talk about what's going on worldwide and within the states because we're watchmen. And I'm talking about all you brothers who support, all you sisters who support. We're watching the times. We're paying attention to what's going on in the planet, and we're moving accordingly. We understand the seasons that we're in. We understand that there's a lot of wicked in this planet. There's a lot of evil going on. And the world has to go through these birth pains. We know that eventually this whole economy, we know all of it's going to come to a screeching halt. We know the mark of the beast is going to come. This is Bible. You can believe what you want to believe. It can be in our lifetime or in our children's lifetime or our grandchildren's lifetime. But one thing is for sure and two things is for certain. Prophecy is going to be fulfilled. Judgment is going to come. There will be a new heaven and a new earth at some point. And we got to move accordingly as the innovators. as those who have all the skills, trades already built in us to develop this new earth. Because the Bible says the kingdom of heaven is with man, but the old earth got to be destroyed. The old world has to be destroyed. Even the kingdom of heaven is with man, meaning the Most High born us in this time for a reason. We were born for such a time because we have the skills, the abilities, the trades to rebuild as this world is facing judgment. It's already in our essence. It's in the fiber of our being. You understand what I'm getting at here? We've already built many great nations. We built ancient Assyria, ancient Babylon, ancient Rome, the Persian Empire, the Mede Empire. We built the American Empire. So we got everything in us to rebuild. But while it's being destroyed, are you going to be taking heed to the prophecies? Are you going to be paying attention to what's going on in the world so you can move accordingly? You know, it's already in us to prepare for the times and rebuild, because we know what's coming. And it's going to be a lot more sporadic weather, a lot more wildfires, which I think is energy weapons, by the way. You know, I have the right to have my thoughts on this, but you can't tell me that 20 damn tornadoes is not preposterous, fam. You can't tell me that that's not beyond abnormal, that it's happening that way. Matter of fact, that's history. That was a historical moment yesterday because we've never seen 20 tornadoes in one place like that. We've never seen it. And there's a lot of shocking footage floating around. And if you're a person who is in those areas or you got family in those areas, feel free to, you know, tap in. Let me know in the comment section if your family's okay, what they seen take place. I believe there was a stadium roof that got ripped out. There was a couple old retirement homes that got destroyed. And I mean, it just got real. It got real. And you know, this kind of stuff can happen everywhere. But the places that the Most High have sealed for his people, his elect that will gather, those places are going to be good. Those places are going to be safe and sound. So it's nothing to worry about. You just got to be tapped in with that Holy Spirit and move accordingly, you know. But anyway, brothers and sisters, one love. You know, if you gain some insight, understanding on this video, you know, pound the like button. Let me know in the comment section what y'all thinking about this tornado, these tornadoes and this Hurricane Milton that hit. What y'all thoughts on this? Is it weather modification? What's going on here? Has this even ever happened? I highly doubt it. But it is what it is. All praises to the Most High. Y'all be safe out here. More material coming. Turn the notification bell on. With that being said, shalom and peace.